Changing the world, it's a big task.
But it's a goal one La Crescent teacher is chasing, one American student, African student, in a plane ticket at a time. News 8's Carrie Vick now joins us with that story.
Well, La Crescent High School teacher Mary Kate Martin has been teaching English for 2 years, but sit in her class for just a few minutes and you'll quickly realize her passion to change students' lives reaches beyond the state border, even beyond the U.S. border, all the way to Africa. Martin has a foot in 2 worlds, and as she works to make a difference both here and abroad, she's building a bridge for American and African students alike. Mary Kate Martin became a teacher for one reason.
I'm in teaching because I literally want to change the world.
But it was years before this Wisconsin native ever had her own classroom at La Crescent High School that her pursuit began.
I first went to Swazi in 2008 on a mission trip with some other college kids.
It was a random choice to go to Swaziland, Africa, 9,000 miles away from home, but it would set the course for her future.
So we went there for 2 months and worked at a school and an orphanage and care points and just cared for the kids there. And that's where I met this girl named Tinelli, and she was 12 years old at the time. Just had a terrible life. She lived with a stepmother who abused her physically and then who sold her to other men.
The stories Martin heard and the faces she saw during her trip were more than enough to capture her heart.
Came back, finished college at UWL, graduated, and decided to go back to Swaziland for a year. I wanted to go back to where my other half of my heart was.
Martin went to teach, but also to do whatever she could to help Tinelli.
And when I had gone back, I found out that she had run away from home and ran into the streets as a prostitute. And at the end of the 9 months, found out she was pregnant. She did end up leaving prostitution, but she lived with the father of her now child, but he was also abusive to her. So the problem there, even though I tried to help her, her situation was that I didn't have a home to offer her.
And it was in that moment when Martin realized her inability to save Tinelli and so many like her that a dream began to form.
So that's what started the idea behind Jose's Heart, and then about building a home for these girls. So Jose's Heart is created to build a home of hope. It's called Letsembo Limpilo, which means Hope for Life.
The Hope for Life home is an old building that was given to Martin's nonprofit organization, Jose's Heart. And as it's renovated from the inside out, one tile and paint stroke at a time, it will become a place where young women also find their chance for transformation. And as the renovation began, Martin focused on a new challenge.
We'll do a little review quick.
Stepping into her own American classroom for the first time at La Crescent High School. And it didn't take long for her students to start hearing stories from the land of Swazi.
She talked about it on her first day at school, which was really cool.
Well, on the first day, she kind of gave us a background of her life, and then once in a while, she would tell us stories.
I love how the kids are so eager to get involved in something. That's probably been the most encouraging part.
Even though they were only freshmen, a group of students in Martin's class decided just hearing the stories wasn't enough.
Well, I kind of thought to myself, like, we have it really easy down here, like over here, and they don't have much over there, so thought maybe helping them out would be kind of nice.
They put together an entire fundraiser by their own.
They called the soccer fundraiser Kicking Up Hope, raising more than $900 for Jose's Heart.
It was really fun, but it took a lot of time and took a lot of effort.
Now in year 2 at La Crescent, Martin is continuing to share what she's learned about the world to a new set of freshman students, and they too are catching the vision.
Johannes is another student in Swaziland. He's collapsed twice in the past week. So I'd shared some stories about Johannes. This 4th hour class, one young man raised his hand and said, "I have a brand new soccer ball. Can we send it to him? We could all sign it." And it just made my heart smile.
It's a gift Martin will deliver.
Got your pen pals.
Along with the letters from her students for the Swazi children.
Jack and Chris Jabulile.
When she returns to her home away from home.
We're teaching skills to make our students global learners. That's the purpose. And for them to connect their stories to somebody else the same age across the world is an eye-opening experience.
But when she goes to Swazi, she'll have a little more on her list of things to do than simply deliver the letters.
I'm trying to check up on the process of the renovations. Secondly, Tinelli, who I've been trying to help. And lastly, I get to kind of hand-deliver pen pal letters.
And while they may just be letters to you and I, to the children in Swazi, they are so much more. And tomorrow night here on News 8 at 10, we'll take you to Swazi and let you see the children's reactions. We'll also show you the progress workers are making on the home Jose's Heart is building for Swazi women.
All right, thanks a lot, Carrie. And if you would like to learn more about Hosea's Heart and the work Martin is doing in Swaziland, you can visit our website, news8000.com.